Hello and welcome back to the Fantasy Playmakers. What is up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be going through my final set of positional rankings. So it's time to talk about my top 20 tight ends for week 14. You guys know the drill. If you're enjoying the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. But let's just jump right into it. Starting off at number 1, he is here every single week. It's Travis Kelce, and this is where he is going to stay. At number 2, we've got George Kittle, and I do think a decent amount of this depends on whether or not Deebo Samuel plays. So if Deebo is active for this game, I think I would actually move Kittle behind Andrews and behind Waller, just because he doesn't see the same target share with Deebo Samuel in the lineup. But we saw what Kittle could do operating as the number one target with Deebo out in week 13. The man just put together a monster performance. So he's going to be at 2 for right now. Then at number 3, we have Mark Andrews, one of the top tier tight ends every single week. Him and Lamar have been a little bit off as of late, but he's still someone who's going to return high-end tight end 1 value. At number 4, I have Darren Waller. He is currently questionable to play. He did not practice on Wednesday, but the coach came out and said he was day-to-day, which obviously gives him some optimism to play on Sunday. Then at 5, I have Rob Gronkowski. The man just continues to ball out, and he actually would probably be higher. I just think this is a tougher matchup this week against the Bills. We know the Bills' defense as a whole is very solid, but they also have great players at the safety position. We have Micah Hyde, and then you also have Poyer. So I think those guys could potentially, man up on Gronk, which could limit some things up the middle. We've also got Matt Milano there, who's very solid in coverage, but still very, very confident in Gronk this week. Then TJ Hockenson at number 6 just continues to produce. I just don't think he has the same safety as the guys ahead of him because, the Lions could just go out and have one of those games where they throw for like 100 yards and there's just no way for Hockenson to put up those numbers. And then I think there is a pretty decent fall off after TJ Hockenson here. You've got Dawson Knox, Pat Freiermuth, and Dalton Schultz. I feel like these guys are kind of always in the same chunk in my rankings. You could flip them around, in a variety of different ways. I ended up going with Dawson Knox here at number 7. Obviously, he did not play well on Monday night. I think we really just throw that whole game away. No one really looked good. It's going to be tough to, operate as a wide receiver or tight end when you're playing in like 20 to 50 mile per hour winds. I expect this Bills-Bucks game to probably be a shootout, so Dawson Knox should be very involved. I'm not really scared of this Bucks secondary, so I think he could be a solid mid-tier tight end 1 play. Same thing for Pat Freiermuth. He's not going to have that volume, but we know he is a very solid red zone threat on a week-to-week basis. Dalton Schultz, he's going to see the volume on a high-scoring passing attack. Then Kyle Pitts here at number 10. Hurts to have him this low, but the man has just not been producing. He has, a higher volume potential in terms of yardage, than a guy like Dawson Knox or Freiermuth or Schultz, but he just has very little touchdown upside on that Falcons offense. At number 11, I have Zach Ertz. Definitely kind of a fringe tight end 1 play. They've got a tough matchup against the Rams and just a lot of overall weapons, but the Cardinals have shown they want to get Zach Ertz involved. So I do think he has a fairly low floor, but he totally has the potential to go out, put up like a 5 for 80 in a touchdown game. That is totally in the realm of possibilities. Then we kind of get into these fringe guys where it's like, do you really trust them in your lineups? The first guy is Tyler Conklin. I think it'll be interesting to see if he receives some more targets with Adam Thielen ruled out. Obviously he's not a wide receiver, but maybe some of the targets are pushed more to that tight end position away from, the wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. Tyler Higbee here at 13. Very disappointing, but he's still operating on a Rams offense. Still has a really nice target share. Just needs to produce more in the future. Cole Kmet here at 14. He would move ahead of Tyler Higbee and Tyler Conklin if Allen Robinson is ruled out. But for Conklin, he plays today, so we won't know about Allen Robinson. So right now, Cole Kmet's going to sit at 14. Then I'm just really not confident from here on out. Noah Fant, player solid. I think he has a bright future at the position. Just not going to be getting it done with Teddy Bridgewater. Too many weapons there. Austin Hooper could see some work, but this Browns tight end position really just operates as a committee. So even if this is a solid matchup against a poor Ravens secondary and just a defense that has been hit really hard by injuries, I still just don't have a ton of trust. Gerald Everett was trending up and then just had an atrocious Week 13 game. Ricky Seals-Jones comes in here at 18. Logan Thomas is out. Ricky Seals returned to practice as a limited participant. We know the Washington football team likes to get that tight end position involved, no matter who is actually playing there. So he could be, a mid-tier tight end 2 option if he is healthy and ready to go. And then to round out the list, Jared Cook at 19, Evan Ingram at 20. Really have no confidence in either of those players. But that is going to wrap it up for my top 20 tight ends. If you didn't get to see my other positional rankings, my running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks, those videos are all up right now on my channel. So go check those out. If you enjoy the content, hit that like button and subscribe. But thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.